Hello Internet, welcome to the Empirical Sword, where science plus gaming equals awesome. I'm Lawmaster DOC79, and this is the first episode of Science in Minecraft, the series that finally puts the empirical in the Empirical Sword. And in this episode, we're going to be finding a slime chunk without the use of hacks. That means no third-party software to find the slime chunk for us, and you know what? This thing here, the F3 menu, we're not even going to use it. Not at all. Except for that little bit right there where I showed you what I'm not going to be using. But anyways, we're even going to assume that we don't even know that the map is divided into these vertical columns measuring 16 by 16 called chunks. So we're going to be finding a slime chunk without knowing what a chunk is. And don't worry about that over there. That's episode 2. We're going to focus on these guys right here. But we are going to assume that we've learned enough about Minecraft to know that monsters spawn in darkness, and as a result, we light up all our caves. Very well. I mean, I do that. I know some people don't, but I do it because I want to go back to my caves. I don't know why. It's an OCD thing, I guess. We're also going to assume that we've actually encountered, these guys at least once, because, I mean, why would we want to build a farm if we don't know they exist, right? And we're also going to assume that we've noticed that these guys tend to appear in the same locations in our caves every time. And we kind of wonder, what is it about location? Obviously, they're not dependent on darkness, because they spawn in light, and they spawn in the same location all the time. Maybe they're location dependent. How are they location dependent? That's the question that we're going to science. By the way, science is a verb, not a noun. It's a thing we do, not a thing we learn. But anyways, first of all, I should have turned switched off peaceful some other time, but so basically I'm going to keep watching around. Oh, I think I saw one spawn in right about here. So we're going to build... get away from me. We're going to build a little bit of a cage. No, not there. The eagle-eyed among you will probably notice that at the beginning of the video I was using iron bars. Well, they were a little thin, so I decided to switch, and I'm invoking a duel. Go away, little guy. I mean, I can do that. You guys don't want to see me fighting iron. Go away. Go away. I can't place blocks inside you. So yeah, we're gonna just building a cage. I want to get not there. I want to get a good number down because based on our initial assumptions, I don't know how big their spawning area is. I know it's actually 16 by 16, but based on our initial assumptions, we don't know that yet. No, not in there. Not in there. Basic idea here is to limit their mobility after they spawn in, and just keep an eye out and do a lot of tedious watching and whatnot. Okay, now we watch from sufficiently far away, watching to see where one spawns in. And yes, I know the size that I chose is pretty much only going to limit me to seeing the baby slimes spawning in. I may be slightly off because I saw one spawn there, or I might have two chunks next to one another. But we don't know about chunks. That's one of our initial assumptions. Yeah, I'm noticing a lot of them spawning like over there rather than in here. So I'm gonna build a little more. Go away! Go away! Go away! Go away! Whoops! Don't do that. Okay, maybe this is big enough, right? Oh. Yeah, that's the only downside about this method is if you're in the wrong area, then, well, this happens. Let's keep watching. Well, one spawned in there, like right on the outside. Oh, we have one. We have one. Right down here. So we'll kill it. And we place a thing there. And fly. And now technically I should extend the walls up farther just to prevent them from migrating, but let's wait until we get another one. Let's wait until we get another one. But as you see, we know that a slime will spawn there, in that location eventually, given enough time. And that's essentially what we're testing here. Obviously, this method requires a lot of patience. Like I said, your fastest way of finding... Right on the edge. Like I said, your fastest way of finding a slime chunk is third-party software. But this is just to prove that you do not need extensive knowledge of the source code to find out the spawning behavior of mobs inside a video game. Come on, spawn. I mean, we already have a proof of concept right here. I need more of you to... Okay, so I'm going to keep working on this off camera, and then I'll come back when I have a little more in the way of results. I'll see you in a bit, I hope. Okay guys, I'm back, and I've been running this experiment for about 2, maybe 3 hours now, and you can see the data I've gotten. I mean, we can see that there's a preference for this area and a preference for this area over here, but unfortunately, this is not really exactly very conclusive. I kind of wanted to map out the entire slime chunk. I think there might be 2 here, but here's the thing. You can see the number of slimes bouncing around outside the test area. Now compare that to the number of slimes bouncing around in the test area. I think we have a little bit of a problem here. And this is actually quite frequent in real science, where our measuring technique actually messes up the thing that we're measuring. And I think what's going on here is that when the game decides that I want to spawn a slime right here, it first chooses the size of the slime at random, and then checks to see if there's enough space. And as you can see in here, we only have space enough for the baby slimes, so there's a 2/3 chance that a slime spawn attempt will fail, given our methods here. Now, I could go back and build this entire thing all over again, effectively deleting all the data that I've already collected, and just have it have like little 2x2 grid markings instead of 1x1s. That should be enough space for even the big guys. But here's the thing: that's a lot of work, and I really want to get this video completed and up on YouTube as quickly as possible. So I have another solution. But before I get into that solution, this is actually something you would run into in a survival world. If you suspect that a slime chunk is somewhere in this area and you go about trying to find it, even though there would be a lot of stone way out there, there's still a lot of caves, possibly caves that you haven't lit up yet. So everything's spawning there, and effectively fighting the area that you're trying to get things to spawn in, so you can find a location where to build a farm. And of course, the only solution there is to go light up every single cave, and you find every single slime chunk, and yeah, in survival mode, that's very tedious. But the solution that I've come up with for this little scenario here is water bucket. I'm technically cheating my rules here a little bit. I mean, I didn't say that we definitely know that monsters can't spawn in water, but I definitely didn't say that we think they can either. But yeah, I know this is technically kind of cheating my rules a little, but again, I want to get this video up and running and on YouTube as quickly as possible, and I don't want to overlap too much. Well, close enough though. So we're just gonna flood the area, and I'll probably cut out all the boringness. I actually did this on an old server. I think it was running like 1.5. I basically flooded an entire swamp so that a slime farm in a swamp would actually work better. It didn't, but I think the server owner kind of glitched up monster spawning in general on that, but that's a little off topic. Obviously that was in a survival mode. I didn't have access to infinite water in my inventory at the time. I promise I will clean this up between the end of this episode and the beginning of the next episode. Maybe, if I remember. You know what? I think I'll get this area as well. Just because. Okay, do they spawn any faster now? Oh! Oh, we got one! We got one! And that is the basic procedure. Right there. One spawn at a time. And then a lot of waiting. Waiting that I will be doing off camera. Unless we can get more to spawn. Ooh, there's another one. There's another one. Yeah, where are you? There are you. I don't want to get too high, because off camera I realize that if I get a little too high, then the small guys don't even render, and then I can't see them. So I don't want that to happen. Well, anyway, this is a lot of stuff that I can be doing off camera, and I don't need to be recording it because, I mean, what's the point of recording gigabytes of data if all you're going to do is cut it out at the editing stage, right? Oh, there's a guy. There's a guy. Bam. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this off camera. And I'll be back with a little more progress, I hope. Okay guys, I'm back, and we've made some progress, but I have to admit, I did a ton of cheating here because it takes forever for the slimes to spawn. I have a bad habit of completely underestimating just how big a project is going to be, but I mean, you guys saw the basic process. We mark off a grid to limit their motion, and we just watch and watch and watch and watch, and as soon as one spawns somewhere, we mark it with a distinctive color, and we increase the size or the height of the grid so that they don't bounce around and all over the place. And this one here, I kind of filled it with water so it wouldn't interfere with this. But here's the thing: this brute force method is useful only if we refuse to use any third-party software, and only if we know nothing about... whoops, wrong button. Only if we know nothing about the chunk boundaries and that slimes spawn in chunks. Rather, okay, so like right here, I'm in 15.1. No, 15. Okay, that's 14. This is 15. Okay, this here is a new chunk right here, I believe. So yeah, this here is the chunk boundary right here. So if we use this, the F3 menu, and our knowledge of slime spawning in chunks, and use this method here to identify, the horizontal coordinates of a chunk, we can actually improve this quite a bit. And it looks a little bit like this. As you can see, it's just a 16 by 16. Hopefully it's 16 by 16 platform. I might be a little off in the dimensions, but you guys get the idea, right? And I put sea lanterns. I call them prismarine lamps. I don't know why I'm weird like that. Light sources along the outside, because Eventually, I'm going to stack these. But hopefully I can get a slime spawn on camera, right? Right? Maybe that can happen. Well, I forgot to fill this with water, but oh well. So we're gonna wait for a slime to spawn right here. Hopefully, I mean they're not out there. Where are they? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, we're on hard. Okay. Well, they're not being cooperative. Come on, guys, cooperate. Wait a minute. Let me fill this with water. This is going to be tedious. Oh, okay. We have them. We have them. So this works. But how high do we go? Well, there's only one option. Build more platforms. Okay, and obviously this makes a bit of a dark spot here in the middle. So I'm gonna put that. Hopefully that. Okay, maybe it needs to be more like here. Maybe. Oh, that's not quite centered either. Does that work? Well, that kind of works. Let me check the light levels. Light levels 98989. Okay, that should be good enough, right? Oh, that's the wrong button. I have a problem with the wrong buttons. So yeah, now we have 2 platforms. But obviously that's going to be... we need a few more. So I'm going to continue working on this off camera, and I'll be back with... we know that one works. Okay. But yeah, I'll be back with more platforms and a bit of a summary of everything that we've discussed. See ya guys in a bit. Okay guys, I'm back. And I think you can see what I've done here. And as you can see, we already have slimes spawning on the platforms. And obviously this is a much faster way of spawning slimes, which kind of makes sense because this is how we build a slime farm, essentially. And you can see that I've already marked the platforms with the red stained clay when I see them spawning a slime. This one here is being stubborn. And considering that I know slimes can spawn up to layer 40, I think this one, which is on layer 40, I think this one should be able to spawn slimes, but I'm not sure. This one definitely should. It's just being stubborn. But, you know, obviously this method here is far superior than the brute force method that I used over here. But this one requires specialized knowledge of the map being divided into chunks and slimes spawning in chunks up to layer 40 or up to some number. Yeah, that one's still not doing. I think we have so many of these little guys down here now that they're just not going to spawn. So yeah, basically, this is how you find a slime chunk without using any sort of third-party hacks. Admittedly, I will still admit that using a third-party software to find the chunks for the slime spawning chunks for you is a lot faster than this method, because with this method, you still need to find an area where you can where slimes actually are spawning, and then kind of isolate the actual spawn area. And if you know nothing about map chunks, then you pretty much have to use this brute force method over here, which is agonizing. Even when you cheat, it's agonizing. Because knowing about chunks allows you to accelerate this process faster. Still not as fast as you could discover a slime chunk using third-party software. Not that I'm advising you use that, because I mean, I don't want to download it myself. I mean, I know people use it, and I know recommendations and stuff like that are usually reliable, but I'm paranoid about viruses and whatnot, so I don't use third-party software to find my slime chunks when I can just do this. And again, I'm not saying that this is the best way to find a slime chunk. I'm just demonstrating. The entire point of this video is to demonstrate that you do not need third-party software or even extensive knowledge of the game's source code in order to find the mob spawning behavior. All you need is science! Hopefully, I do not get a content ID claim from Bill Nye the Science Guy. And hopefully, if you guys are listening through headphones, hopefully you guys can still hear me because you're not deaf. Hopefully I didn't deafen you. But anyways, that is basically the entire point of this video. This platform should be spawning them. But it isn't. It should. It's just being stubborn. Random number generators, and I hate them. I hate random. But that's a topic for another video. But I think I made the point for this video. And this is essentially what science in Minecraft is going to be. Me testing things with science in Minecraft. Obviously. Whee! That is always fun to watch. But anyways, I'm going to call that the end of this video. And don't forget to like and comment and leave your feedback down in the comments, as would be implied by the request to comment. And as always, remember that gaming is intellectual exercise, just as athletes need to stay in shape, so do intellectuals. Oh wait, did this one spawn something and I didn't pay attention to it because I was doing my sign-off? I feel like a doofus now, but I've made my point. I don't need to be a perfectionist. Just as athletes need to stay in shape, so do intellectuals, and gaming is one of the ways in which we can do that, as it helps us to hone our problem-solving skills, especially if we want to be scientists, or, well, I mean, I have a science degree, so I'm not a, I'm kind of, I don't need to go into details about that. But anyways, it helps us to hone our problem-solving skills. And if if intellectual exercise via gaming sounds like something that interests you, you would like to see more of, or you would like to support, then I highly encourage you to subscribe, because subscribing is completely free, so why wouldn't you? And in the next episode of Science in Minecraft, I'm going to be doing something with all of this over here. Wonder what this is about. Tune in then, whenever that video drops, to find out. And I will see you then.